Mayor Chris Watts here to bring you an update on the COVID-19 virus in our community, and also just to give you an update on some of the things that are happening as far as at the state and federal and local level. But first, we want to send our condolences out to the families who've lost loved ones during this pandemic, both in our community, in our state, in our nation, and also in our world. This has affected many people's lives and has brought heartache and grief, and our hearts and prayers go out to them as they endure this and horrible tragedy and as they move through this. Also want to thank the volunteers in our community who have stepped up, as they've always stepped up, to help those in need, those that volunteer at our different nonprofit organizations. Just this recently, we had an email that went out for people to go shop for elderly residents, those that are the most vulnerable, and within an hour or two they filled up all those slots. And just really want to thank everyone for all they're doing and for reaching out and to helping those in need who can't really help themselves, and for helping keep people safe, those that really should not be going out in their homes, to stay in their homes and providing them what they need. Want to continue to encourage social distancing and the guidelines from the CDC. Keep the social distancing, wash your hands, don't touch your mouth, your nose, your eyes, or your face. Ensure that you don't have to leave your home if you don't have to. Just only go out for those essential things that you may need. And we also really want to send out a thank you and a shout out to those who are working in our essential businesses, those who go to work every day to make sure that the things that we need are there and that they provide us help, they provide us assistance. And we want to make sure that we respect their distancing when we're in these shops, these essential businesses. Make sure you respect their health and their safety by keeping your social distance, wearing a mask if you're able to in these public spaces that are in these buildings. Just be mindful of them because they're there doing that, helping us to get what we need. Additionally, the payroll protection plan that many have heard about through the CARES Act, which is a federal government program to help with the COVID-19 pandemic. It's my understanding that that has reached its funding capacity of $370 billion as of April the 16th. Therefore, I would encourage everyone, as they look towards other legislation to provide additional funding, contact Representative Michael Burgess, Dr. Michael Burgess, Senator John Cornyn, Senator Ted Cruz, and let them know that you want them to support additional funding for small businesses to help them weather this storm, because small businesses are the heart and lifeblood of not just our city here, our community here in Denton, but all over the nation. Governor Abbott will begin to roll out a plan to help restart the Texas economy. We don't have any information on the specifics of that, but believe that he will do that shortly so that we all can begin to see a plan and an end to this particular shut-in order, and how we do that, and what keeps us safe and what keeps the public safe as we do that, because that's the number one priority. It's great news to report with the COVID-19 virus relief fund that is being administered through the United Way. With my first order on March 13th, the City of Denton contributed $50,000 to help with rental assistance and eviction avoidance, because we knew there would be a time when people may need some assistance. It's great to report that during that time, we've had others contribute now to that United Way fund. We've had the City of Louisville. We've had Denton County give $60,000 recently. Denton has also increased its amount by $50,000 for a total of $100,000. And then just a few days ago, it was reported that PACCAR, which is the parent company for our own Peterbilt here, gave $250,000 to the relief fund. It's amazing how our corporate partners have stepped up during this time of great need in our city. And I just want to say thank you to all of those who contributed to that fund, and for all the private donations that have been delivered to that fund, because it's helping people at a time when they desperately need it. We're in one of the worst economic downturns since the Great Depression. And so just thank you, PACCAR, thank you, City of Louisville, thank you, Denton County, thank you to all in the City of Denton who are help providing funding and relief to those in our community and in our county. And even though we've got a lot of things going on with this COVID-19 pandemic, and that's really what's on our minds, and that's really what we're concentrated on, we cannot forget one very important thing that's also occurring at this time, and that is the national census. The national census is what determines the type of federal funding our state and even our local community receives over the next 10 years. So it's imperative, it's so important to not just focus on the short term here, but to understand that just a simple 5 minutes of filling out the census form, going online to complete the census form, provides a tremendous opportunity for this community going forward in providing us all the federal funds that we're entitled to based upon our population. The more people that report and fill out the census for our community, the more funding that we receive. So, as we walk through this very short-term, tragic environment and situation in our world and our community, let's make sure that also for the long term, we do what we can to maximize those federal dollars that will come to our community, that will help us as we overcome and as we move past this time in our nation's history and in our city's history.